government over the weekend. We did see the Chief Executive Officer of CPP share what he has summed up as the cost of that protest. I'm sure he would also be able to tell us the cost of no protests. You know, as we know that a lot of Nigerians are getting desperate because of the high cost of living. We have joining us Dr. Muda Yusuf now. Dr. Yusuf, good afternoon. So I know you did share this in your release earlier about the cost, economic cost of the proposed protest, if it happens.
Yes, the cost will be very, very significant. We are talking about an estimated cost of about 400 billion naira per day. Based on the computations and estimations we did within the context of the GDP numbers. The average daily GDP for the country as we speak is about 660 billion naira per day. So we have discounted for possibilities of some sectors and some locations, particularly the rural areas, not being significantly impacted by the protest. That is how we arrived at the 400 billion. It's an estimate anyway. But the important thing is that it's going to lead, if it is not properly managed, I'm talking of the protest now, it's going to lead to major disruptions of economic activities across all major sectors of the economy. And the impact from that on the economy, on the citizens, on incomes, on jobs will be very, very severe. Already there's a lot of panic, a lot of anxiety, a lot of conferences, business meetings, workshops are now being postponed as a result of the uncertainty that has been created.
All right, Dr. Yusuf, but let's look at the other side of the divide, which is if there's no protest, we do know, I mean, you and I, we've talked a whole lot about the macroeconomic indices, what it's doing to purchasing power, issue of inflation and all of that. And so I guess the protest is just a way of the people trying to get the attention of the people. If there were no protest and then the people continue this way, is there a cost to that?
No, the worry is not about protest. The worry is about how peaceful the protest will be. It is when the protest turns violent, that is when we will have this kind of damage to the economy. This is a peaceful protest. That is fine. It's a way of communicating the feelings of the people to government. Of course, there have been a lot of communications earlier, but this may further accentuate the concerns of the citizens by way of communicating to the government. So the protest itself has its own value. But the worry is that the protest should be managed in a way that it does not degenerate to violence. And the good news is that even the Inspector General of Police has recognized and acknowledged the fact that citizens have a right to protest. But the police has said that it's willing to cooperate with the organizers of the protest to ensure that there is no violence and there is no issues of causing a very disorderly environment, looting, stealing, maiming, and all of that. Because it's very easy for the hoodlums and miscreants to infiltrate this, to take advantage of this, to begin to, perpetuate mayhem, looting properties, breaking into shops. I mean, we saw what happened during the ESAS. Nobody ever prayed that that kind of thing should happen anymore. The protest got completely out of the hands of those who organized it. Shops were looted. A lot of public assets were burnt, were vandalized. 80 BRT buses were burnt. I mean, what has that got to do with police brutality? Certainly nothing. So these are activities of miscreants. That is what the government, and that's what even all of us wish that should not repeat itself. The protest itself is not a bad idea at all.
All right, Dr. Yusuf, we have, it's Thursday, it's supposed to be on Thursday, which is the first day in the month of August. How do you see this being averted? Perhaps if it was managed in one way or the other, it could be averted, and both the government and the people would, as the government has been asking for, they'll get more time, to work and let the people see.
No, I think the best thing to do at this time, I don't think it will be easy to reverse the process. the best thing to do at this time is to engage the organizers, and the organizers will also show up. Because it's not a good thing that we have a protest that doesn't have leadership. It can easily snowball into a major crisis, which will not do anybody any good. So if the organizers show up, they are desperate to hold this rally, and also the sentiments around people have been complaining and all of that. There is hunger, high cost of living. Of course, what is important is to ensure that we make it as peaceful as possible. That should be our primary concern at this time. And as we make it as short as possible, it should not be more than 1 day. Because when protests get prolonged, the risk of it degenerating into violence, into anarchy, into looting, into all manner of criminal activities increases. That is the danger of a protest that is prolonged.
All right, Dr.
It should
Yusuf.
be kept very short. And of course, that does not even diminish the messaging of the protest. It doesn't diminish it in any way.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf, for sharing your time and thoughts with us this afternoon. We appreciate it. Chief Executive Officer of Center for Promotion
Thank you very much. Thank
Private
you.
Enterprises, Dr. Muda Yusuf, right there. And of course, what we do hope is while the people are free to express themselves, we also have to think about what a protest gone violent can do to the economy, which will affect everyone at the end of the day.